Welcome back to Sierra Gold. My name is Wes Woodland, and happy Saturday, everyone. I'm in the studio with Mike Holmes, another Auburn legend. He's a native of the area, former Auburn mayor, and also was on the city council. He's another Placer alum, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2003, byproduct of Sierra College, and did the U.S. Navy for how many years?
Well, I was about 25 years active duty, yes.
And I'm dragging Mike in here today because he's got an amazing project that I think you guys are all going to want to hear about. We all knows about the Trans-Continental Railroad, the amazing railroad that changed everyone's lives and made everything safer to get out here to California, which made California so special. He is making an effort to put a Chinese railroad worker's statue up at the Gold Run area.
The Gold Run rest stop on I-80 eastbound is where we're planning to put the monument.
And now, could you tell us a little bit about this and how you got involved?
Well, having spent a lot of time in China and studied Chinese and so forth, that when I found out about this, I thought, well, it's time that the Chinese workers were properly recognized for their efforts, because next year will be the 150th year of the completion of the Trans-Continental Railroad. So there are plans now to do a couple of these monuments, one in California here in Placer County at Gold Run, and then another one at Promontory Point in Utah, where the Union Pacific and the Central Pacific came together.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the Chinese were not really recognized in 1869 when all of this came together. They were not acknowledged, their efforts and so forth. Even as recently as 50 years ago, they were not acknowledged. So I think it's important that we do this and try to get this monument done. There is a sculptor in China who is working on the monument, and also we have a local contractor out of Colfax involved in the actual construction of the monument itself. One of the tasks that we have to complete is, because that rest stop is owned by Caltrans,
Okay.
we have to get what's called an encroachment permit. So Placer County would then become responsible for the monument itself.
The upkeep and whatnot.
For the upkeep, and in case there's any graffiti or damage done to it for one reason or another, so that Caltrans does not have that responsibility. So we're in that process now, and actually that needs to be done before any work on the actual construction of the monument can take place, until that is in the encroachment permit is in place, because if something goes wrong, it has to be clear who's going to be responsible.
Absolutely. And so Caltrans, please, let's get this going. You're really addressing 10,000 laborers is what I had read, and over 1,200 Chinese men died. Nitrous oxide, dynamite, they were blasting. They did all the heavy lifting. My understanding is that the Irish came from the east our direction, and the Chinese came from San Francisco that way. And then then they met. Is that where the other monument's going to be?
Yes.
In the Utah?
Yes, in Utah, yeah.
And Leland Stanford is the gentleman who drove the final stake in 1869. And, Colfax was named after another important politician at the time. Is the process going well, or do you?
Well, yes, it's going well, and the fundraising is moving along. We're looking at over $200,000 to do this thing here in California. There are a number of pledges that have already been received, and I think Native Sons of the Golden West have made a substantial contribution, and our Placer County Historical Society and Placer County Historical Foundation are both making a contribution to help move this along.
Excellent. And people listening, is there anything they can do? Is there a place they can go to make any donations?
Well, yes. They have a website, U.S.-China Railroad Friendship Association, and people could go to that website and I'm sure make a contribution there.
And there's probably more information. The Chinese were integral in California's history. That railroad really was a game changer, and culturally and economically for us to be able to then push all of our produce that California was known for, agriculture, to get it safely and quickly to the East Coast was a boon for California.
Yeah, and just a personal note, my great-grandfather came in 1870, after the railroad had been completed, came to California and started his career here. His father was already here, but he
took safe passage on the railroad.
He graduated from Harvard in 1870 and then caught the train and came out to Placer County.
And before 1869, before this railroad, it was a 6-month journey. You either took the wagon or you took the boat around the bottom of...
Well, we, as a Navy guy, we call them ships, not boats. So just a slight correction there.
They took the ships down there, and that's a long, dangerous journey. And the railroad changed it all. I want to thank Mike for coming in today. Again, it's the Chinese Railroad Workers Historical Memorial Monument that's going to go in Gold Run. Please tune in first and third Saturdays of the month. I want to thank Renee again for having us a part of Feel the Rush or Experience the Rush. I'm Wes Woodland, and I'll catch you next time. We're going off to commercial break.